Todd Austin and Patrick Evans. Pringle against Mbeya. And the Gamecocks will get first possession. South Carolina averaging 78.5 points per game through 2 games, shooting 47%, 30% from 3. They get it inside to Pringle. Lost the handle. Tigers basketball. Towson through 2 games, 79 points per game, shooting 47% overall, 38% from behind the arc. A team that brings back 80% of their scoring from a season ago. 7 of their top 8, they get it inside to Mbeya, a whistle. And a foul that's going to go against South Carolina.
And South Carolina has to get themselves ready to go against multiple ball screens and ghost screens actions that Towson presents offensively. They're in constant movement, so you have to be able to protect the paint as much as possible.
Well, Studi picks up his first, sends the freshman Caleb Mbeya to the line. And the Democratic Republic of Congo, 1 for 2 on the season from the charity stripe so far, 1 for 3. Mbeya played 13 minutes off the bench at St. Mary's, then got the start in their second game against Penn State Wilkes-Barre, getting the start tonight. It's 1 of 2.
Coach Gary's high on him already. Has a great motor, plays with a ton of energy.
Jacoby Wright starting his 2nd straight game. Here's Murray Boyles. And another turnover for South Carolina. Coach Parrish not pleased so far. The starting lineup for the Towson Tigers: Dylan Williamson, joined by Tark May and Mbeya, and our player to watch, Tyler Tejada. Williamson, 6'1" guard from Upper Marlboro, Maryland. Here's Tark, tough shot. It's the Gamecocks the other way, led by Jacoby Wright. Murray Boyles, and 1.
We've talked about Colin Murray Boyles so many times regarding his touch around the basket. He's got such soft hands, and when he catches the ball, he's able to corral it down, and he knows how to finish once he receives contact.
And the foul was on Caleb Mbeya. Picks up his first. Murray Boyles finishes the 3-point play, averaging 17 points, 11.5 rebounds per game so far, double-double through 2. May runs into Murray Boyles, not trying to back him down. May again, and he lost the handle. Turnover for Towson.
You could see Christian May was trying to get himself implemented into the offense as quickly as possible. He's one of the top leading scorers for Towson, next to Tejada.
May averaging 10 points per game so far. Here's your starting lineup for the Gamecocks: Wright, Thomas, Studi, Pringle, and Murray Boyles. This is Murray Boyles. Backing down May. Fighting for the offensive rebound, and he draws another foul.
And that's what makes Colin Murray Boyles so special. Even if on a missed shot, you could be right there in front of him. He's so active, so quick. He's able to maneuver around defenders and get himself another opportunity to score the ball.
Pringle converts against Mbeya.
That's going to be huge for Pringle's confidence. If you've noticed at the beginning of all the South Carolina games, they have tried to get the ball to him to get himself going, get himself into an offensive rhythm, and then let him build that confidence up. And that's what happened there. Showing confidence in him is going to build his confidence.
And Tejada short on the 3. Getting back to that inside bucket, John, Coach Parrish was talking about that in the postgame earlier this week. He said people take for granted when you're close to the rim, you should just be able to make it go in, but you have to practice those to develop the soft touch, and under circumstances where you'll see it in a game. Bodies flying around you, you're off balance, pump fakes, power dribbles, things that help your balance and improve your percentages.
Absolutely, and then also doing that and finishing over force on a consistent clip.
An open look for May, in and out. Strong rebound from Murray Boyles. Gamecocks lead 5-1, looking for more. Kicked out to right. He's short. And here come the Tigers. Stark. They'll swing it around. An open look for Williamson. Can't hit. Pat Scarry in his 14th season as the head coach for Towson, the highest winning percentage in Towson's D1 history. 3 straight years with 20-plus wins. 3 straight years in the CAA tournament semifinals. Looking for the championship this season, John.
Yeah, talk about a guy that's built the program from the ground up, bringing that pit toughness to the Towson Tigers, and you can see it every time they play.
I spent that year as an assistant under Jamie Dixon at Pitt. You played that team in the NCAA tournament, didn't you, John?
Yeah, we did. They gave us all types of trouble.
Wright drives and draws the foul. It's going to go against Mekhi Lowry, who picks up his first. And Coach Parrish in his 3rd season, the 2024 SEC Coach of the Year. Of course, in year 2 on the job, he orchestrated the greatest single-season turnaround in program history. 26-8 in a trip to the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2017. Wright drains the first.
Yeah, Coach Parrish has done a fantastic job with the teams, even the first year, just building team chemistry and camaraderie. And that's one of the things he does, is he creates great relationships with his guys to get the most out of them.
In and out on the second. It's ripped away by Lowry, and he'll bring the ball up for Towson. Gamecocks are on a 6-0 run. Towson hasn't scored in the last 3 minutes. Davis thought about it. Instead, they'll swing it around. Here's Thomas. And turnover here. Pass is picked off by Lowry. Tejada guarded by Davis. Now Murray Boyles. Tejada from the corner. Too strong. Rebound tracked down by Jamari Thomas.
Yeah, Tejada's so used to that ghost screen, giving him the head of steam he needs to get 2 feet in the paint.
Thomas with the hesitation, drew contact, and a foul called on Towson brings us to immediate timeout. 15:46 left to go in the first. South Carolina leads Towson 6-1. Back inside Colonial Life Arena, an early 6-1 lead for the Gamecocks. Dave and John with you. At shoot-around today, Coach Parrish talked about reliability. Johnny said the greatest ability is reliability.
Yeah, a lot of people say availability, but in Coach Parrish's mind, it's being able to depend on the players to start in the roles that are given to them. Whether it is you're shooting the ball, you better be good at shooting it, and you better make it and take them. All right, whether it's rebounding, you have to be able to crash the boards hard, create second chance points, be able to limit the offensive team to one and dones. It just depends on whatever you're asked to do. Go out there and be a superstar in that role.
He said people need to rely on what you do. The only deviance should be when you overperform.
Absolutely, absolutely. That should be the outlier, and that's just a plus in that regard. Main thing is, on that spectrum, you have to stay steady. Do the things that are expected for you to do, and then when you do have a great game, that's just a plus. Communication, of course, a part of that as well. Third all-time meeting between South Carolina and Towson. The Gamecocks lead this season, the all-time series 2-0. The last time they met was in 1997, so 27 years ago. It was a 65-55 Gamecock win at Carolina Coliseum in the non-conference finale. Their first meeting was back in 1984, 79-68 Gamecock victory. Jamari Thomas at the line, 8 for 9 on the season so far. And this is the first.
Thomas, the transfer from Norfolk State, your 2023-24 MEAC Player of the Year. Averaging 13 points per game so far for South Carolina, who's now on a 7-0 run. Towson, John, having some trouble scoring early on.
Well, the thing is, their offense has presented them, when they run it right, some good looks. When they hold the ball a little too long is when they start to get in trouble against South Carolina.
10 seconds for Williamson. Now Tejada. Off the mark. May, an offensive rebound. The athletic Christian May, the junior from Edinburgh, Virginia. He can be a highlight reel dunker. Lowry. Off the mark. Pringle fighting for the rebound. Tips it to Makai Lowry. Towson now 0 for 9 so far from the field.
Well, this is what we talk about, keeping your foot on the gas on the defensive end. The defensive play isn't over until you get the ball corralled and get that rebound.
A deep three from Williamson is off the mark. Another offensive board from May.
4 opportunities right there for Towson to get themselves in a rhythm. One thing that Towson was really good at last year, they ranked high in the nation, top 10 in the nation in offensive rebounds.
And May had 7 rebounds in the opening loss at St. Mary's. Did not play against Penn State Wilkes-Barre. Davis gets it to Pringle. Working inside. Able to finish from in close.
Against his old teammate there as well from Wofford, Messiah Jones.
And 4 points for Pringle. That goes back to the 2020-21 season. And both Terriers. Williamson pulls up, too strong. Rebound from Murray Boyles. Ugasuk will bring it up for the Gamecocks. Feeds Murray Boyles, head of steam. Another and one for Colin Murray Boyles.
Yeah, you're seeing South Carolina get it done on the interior. First off, you got Pringle getting himself in a short roll action here, facing up, getting to a spin move, using his pivots and finishing strong. Great balance there. And then in the open floor situation, you can't stop Colin Murray Boyles when he has a full head of steam. That's a freight train right there.
Murray Boyles coming off 19-point, 16 rebound performance against South Carolina State. Also had 4 assists.
Yeah, the guy can do a little bit of everything. Obviously, he can play with his back to the basket. He's good in the open floor. He runs hard, great hands, but also a great passer.
Another 3-point play for Colin Murray Boyles. He now has 6 points. Gamecocks lead 12-3. Murray Boyles will take a seat. Jacoby Wright as well. Star freshman Cam Scott has checked in for South Carolina. He's on the floor with Ugasuk, Davis, Studi, and Pringle.
Cam Scott, one of the things that they're challenging him to do is to be a better defender.
May on the drive. 4 points for Christian May. Preseason All-CAA second team selection. Here's the Tigers' leading scorer last year.
He's a tough player to guard, especially at 6'6", 210, with fantastic guard skills that can get downhill. Once he gets downhill, he uses his pivots great, has a nice little mid-range jumper. The guy is a terror to deal with for an entire game.
Fall away from Studi. His first basket of the night.
Great finish from Miles Studi there, getting to the mid-range jumper, finishing over a smaller defender.
And Bea will get help from May. May misses the 3, and the rebound for Zach Davis. Zach averaging 6 rebounds per game so far this season. He's been filling up the stat sheet for South Carolina. 11.6 rebounds, 4 assists through 2 games. The whistle, that's going to go against Towson. If it's against Mbea, that's his second.
That's huge. especially what Ndea brings to the table in rebounding, setting hard screens, being an active defender.
And that's a loss. Coach Gary told us, as a freshman, he's going to have to cut down his fouls, but it's a fine line because he needs the game experience, and he's a physical, hard-playing guy. Said to steal line from Mike Tomlin, I'd rather tell him whoa than sick him, so just trying to get that piece figured out with him.
Yeah, that's always good when they're going 100 miles per hour. Sometimes some good can come of it, sometimes some bad, but you'd rather them be in a positive situation where they're going hard versus being reserved.
Contact. A foul is going to be called on South Carolina. And Morris Ugasuk, who picks up his first. Second foul called on the Gamecocks. Towson has 6 already. Fouls were a problem early in that St. Mary's game for Towson as well.
Well, they play tough, gritty basketball. They're handsy, they're physical, and so at all times, I mean, they've got that kind of grit to them where they won't let you get to those spots, and they'll foul you before you get to those.
Tejada hits a tough shot over Studi. His first points of the night.
So we talked about Tejada being able to score the ball over smaller defenders, even though Studi's 6'5", Tejada's 6'9".
Ugasuk for 3.
And Morris Ugasuk has been really shooting the 3 ball this season, really serving as a calm, cool, and collected player that comes in off the bench and provides positive minutes.
3 for 4 this season from behind the arc. 6 different players have scored for South Carolina. They lead 17-7. Tejada makes his move. Really tough angle. What a finish off the glass from Tyler Tejada.
Yeah, once he can get those feet in the paint, he is really tough to stop because of his length, because of his touch around the basket. He can get to his pull-up. He's very dangerous out there.
18 points in the opener at St. Mary's, 15 against Penn State Wilkes-Barre. Pringle finishes. There's some contact, no call. Pringle was asking for the foul. Nick Pringle has 6 early on. Tejada on the other end.
And you can see why Tejada is so revered in the conference. He could be one of those players that become the NCAA Player of the Year with the ability that he has.
Davis doesn't get the roll. The lead is 8 from the corner. That was Suleiman. Another opportunity for the Tigers. Suleiman against Studi. This is short, the rebound for Studi. And Ugasuk will bring it up for the Gamecocks. Halfway through the first half. The lead is 8. Fancy moves from the freshman Scott. They swing it to the corner. Scott's 3-point attempt is short. Radir Hicks bringing it up for the Tigers. Hicks thought about it. This is Tark, the floater. And the foul called on the Gamecocks. Now the preseason first-team All-CAA selection last year, CAA Rookie of the Year, Tyler Tejada, has been heating up for Towson. He's got 6 with the Gamecocks lead, 19-11. Well, Tyler Tejada is 3 for 6 from the field. He attended the NCAA Elite Student Athlete Symposium for men's basketball in September. He was selected to attend due to his potential to be drafted in the NBA once he leaves college. 14 high-profile players attended the 3-day event. They learned about decision-making strategies from some former NBA players, financial literacy, how to work with sports agents. And 3 big lessons that they learned were, 1, the game of basketball is a tool to direct you to different points in your life. 2, what got you here won't get you where you want to go. And 3, think the long game. So the first part being the opportunities that basketball can provide. They talk relationships because NBA people, John, they track everything you do, who you associate with, your brand, and of course the long game. That's that financial literacy aspect, choosing a financial advisor, and more importantly, people you can trust.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, the leadership qualities that you can bring back to your team and make it addictive, where everybody is practicing to lead and to be an extension of the coach. And obviously the financial literacy, once the ball stops bouncing, right? When that ball stops bouncing, what do you do once you get into the real world? And so I think it serves as a great precursor to once you get done with college, what's next?
And Miles Studi for South Carolina, he actually attended this event back in 2023 with Coach Rich. Learned how to be a leader. He was talking to us about what he learned at shoot-around. He said also that financial literacy piece, but he brought back what he learned and shared that with the guys like Meechie Johnson, Talon Cooper, and you saw that in their leadership last season.
He talked about also the communication piece that he picked up and made sure he shared with his teammates. And that's why that team last year was so synced together, was because of their ability to communicate, hold each other accountable, and it helped them and catapulted them into a great season last year.
And communication, one of those areas of reliability that Coach Paris was talking about. 9:31 left to go in the first. Coach Paris's team leads 19-11. He was happy coming off that South Carolina State win, said it was good for us to get our first win with this group. Thought we did some good things, only gave up 25 points in the first half. It was a really good response. The messages, John, they were received after the UNF loss.
Yeah, absolutely. Their response to it was great. Being able to come in, go to work, figure out what you did right, what you did wrong, and capitalize on that in the next games going forward.
And he said we needed to hear some of those things, and we took those things to heart. Guys prepared individually better. It was a really good response from the entire group. They lead 19-12 here in the first half. Jamari Thomas, Ugasuk, now Studi. Bozeman's Verdonk is checked in for South Carolina, with 31 in white. A whistle, and Thomas was bumped. Foul's gonna be called on Abdu Sam. He picks up his first. Junior forward from Upper Marlboro, Maryland. One-on-one situation for Jamari Thomas. It's the first. Jamari has double-digit points in each game so far, 12 against UNF, 14 against South Carolina State. They're going to need his scoring this season, John, after the departure of Meechie Johnson and Talon Cooper.
Absolutely, and he does things a little bit different. He's more of a downhill guard, a guy that hunts for those paint touches and does a fantastic job of manipulating ball screens.
This pass is picked off by Tark. Tark will take it himself. Draws contact. Tark might have hurt his hand on the play. He's holding that wrist or thumb. Couldn't tell. Hopefully he's okay.
This is good practice for Jamari Thomas, who has picked up that third turnover so far, and a lot of that is due to the length of Towson that is always coming at him with outstretched arms. And you know, obviously that open man is not open for very long, and so you can't be delayed in your passing.
Tark hits the first. And the Tark, a pretty consistent guy. As Jacoby Wright checks back in. 8 and 6 in game 1 for Tark. 8 and 5 in game 2. I'm talking points and rebounds. He filled the stat sheet last season, his first at Towson. He averaged 9.8 points per game, 4th on the team. Just over 5 rebounds, 2nd on the team in that category. He was 3rd in assists and led the Tigers in steals. That's a little bit of everything for Towson. Studi, baseline, kicks it back out. Wright made Sam fall down. Bozeman's Verdonk inside. Several pump fakes, finishes, and the foul.
Yeah, and all that was due to Benjamin Bozeman Verdonk being patient on his drive. knowing that Sam is a shot blocker, knowing that he wants to get up in the air, using his pump fakes to his advantage, getting to the other side of the rim and finishing.
Bozeman's for Zog, 6'9", 240, all muscle from Belgium. His third season at South Carolina. Makes his first free throw attempt of the season. The Gamecock lead is 10. Ugasuk back in. Ugasuk hit a couple of threes in the last game. As long as he does that, John, he's going to see some consistent minutes. Tejada guarded closely. 10 seconds for Tsark. He's checked by Jacoby Wright. Pulls up for three. In and out. Rebounds handled by Bozeman's Verdzonk. Ugasuk. Wright. Hits.
Beautiful recognition from Jacoby Wright, recognizing that the defender was getting himself ready to go under the screen for Wright to drive and use it. And as soon as he went under and dropped, he pulled up and took the shot.
Largest lead for South Carolina. They're on a 6-0 run. And we're going to take a break from Colonial Life Arena. 7:31 left to go in the first. The Gamecocks lead 26-13.
Back with you in Colonial Life Arena here in Columbia, South Carolina, where for the 22 seasons that this building has been open, fans have filled these seats all around us. And for nearly every one of those games over the last more than 2 decades, Robbie Hunter stood here as an usher supervising the visitors' tunnel. Unfortunately, Robbie passed away earlier this fall and left behind a wife, 2 children, and 9 grandchildren, and also his Colonial Life Arena family searching for a way to honor their friend. So today, standing in the place that he stood for so long, is a placard honoring his memory and leaving the smiling face that stood here for so long, remembering the life of Robbie Hunter. Guys.
Thank you, Caden. Great that the Gamecocks are honoring Robbie Hunter.
Yeah, absolutely. They definitely do give you a recognition of their legends here in Colonial Life Arena. It's a family-oriented environment. You see a lot of people here, the same faces every single year, and that's a testament to the Gamecocks and what they've been doing for so long.
The Gamecock faithful has seen their team shoot 60% so far, 9 for 15 from the floor. Towson, conversely, just 25%, John. They're 5 for 20.
Yeah, it's been tough for Towson to get good looks, but when they do, it's when they are running their offense efficiently, using those ball screens, those ghost screens, to get ahead of steam, to see if they can get 2 feet in the paint. Because once you get 2 feet in the paint, good things happen. The defense implodes, so then you're able to pass the ball out, get open shots. Bad closeout, straight line drives, works in your favor.
Both those teams, tough teams. Coach Parrish described Towson as tough-minded, which was the same concern they had with UNF. A team that doesn't really care if they're going up against an SEC opponent. They're not intimidated. He's known Coach Scary for a long time. Ugasuk feeds right inside.
Beautiful back cut from right there. Understanding that Towson on the left side of the floor was looking forward to a ball screen action, and that cut happened. Weak side didn't recover in time. He was able to get himself a wide open layup.
It's an 8-0 run for the Gamecocks. 6 points now for Jacoby Wright. Under 10 for Towson. Williamson, a contested 3. He drills it.
And that's what Williamson does. He can make tough shots on a consistent clip. He can score in droves. Scored a ton of baskets early in the game against St. Mary's.
He was 4 for 8 from 3 in the first 2 games. Pulls the Tigers within 12. Rory Boyle's the floater.
Oh, no. I disagree with that one. But you see Williams here just getting a little bit of space. Jamari Thomas did a really good job of playing primary defense on him, but it was better offense from Williamson.
His preseason All-CAA honorable mention after making the All-Rookie team a year ago. Christian May, he's got 6.
We talk about Towson's personnel. All these guys are long, wiry, strong. They hunt for contact, don't mind it, and so they're not flustered when they see a big body like Benjamin Bozeman-Verdonk.
Here's Bozeman-Verdonk against Jones. Tough shot won't go. Well defended by Messiah Jones, the grad forward from Chicago. Tejada, offensive foul. It's the first on Tejada.
And you see Colin Murray Boyles walling up, getting ready to receive the contact. He was there early, and Tejada kept going. Offensive foul.
Murray Boyles was talking with one of our officials. I think John's still a little upset after that previous call. And a whistle here that'll go against Towson. Goes against Messiah Jones, who picks up his second. Messiah is averaging 17 minutes off the bench so far this season. And 4 points at St. Mary's, 7 points and 6 boards against PSU Wilkes-Barre. In his second season with Towson, coming over from Wofford. Nick Pringle at the line. Hits the first. That's a good sign for Pringle, who comes into tonight 5 for 13.
Yeah, and one thing Pringle's going to have to understand is with Coach Parrish working through the offense to get him more touches, because of his size and his stature, he's going to get sent to that line. And so you don't want a hack and shack situation where if you miss the ball, there isn't a reward from it.
Well, he hits both, and he was a 56% free throw shooter last year while playing for Alabama. Pringle's got 8. Christian May feeds Sam. Deep 3 for Williamson off the back iron. Another offensive rebound for Christian May. They tried to feed a cutting Lowry. Instead, it's a turnover. The Gamecocks the other way, and Murray Boyles off the glass.
Murray Boyles, even though he's a big body guy, he runs the floor like a gazelle.
Colin Murray Boyles has 8 points so far. The Gamecocks have a 32-18 lead over Towson.
Yeah, and the thing about South Carolina is they are not considered a fast break team. They are considered an opportunistic team. If they can create offense through defense, they will. If they have a numbers advantage, they're going to take full advantage of that. And you see there, Jamari Thomas starts the break, and a hard finish from Colin Murray Boyles.
They've had over 10 fast break points in each of the first 2 games this season after just 5 games with 10 fast break points last year. So we're going to run a little more this season, John.
Yeah, we talk about simplifying the game, taking what's given to you and what's given for you. And right now, South Carolina has been able to create off of turnovers through their defense. And if they have the fast break, they'll take it. And one thing that they are getting better at is their half-court sets. You saw there, they've been able to get to the line because they're starting to execute more and more offensively, and that's because of their identity. They're starting to work more and more towards finding that.
So far, they're 11 of 18 from the field. They've made 4 of their last 5. They lead by 14. Dylan Williamson kicks it to Lowry. That's good.
And Coach Lamont Paris is upset at that. It took Lowry a long time to get that shot out of his hands, and there was no resistance, no closeout, and so he was getting on Morris Ugasuk for not even trying to get out there.
It's the first 3-pointer of the season for Lowry. Murray Boyles, he's hit and he goes down. Foul's going to be called on Christian May. He picks up his second. So 2 on May, 2 on Lowry, 2 on Mbeya, and 2 on Jones. That's a foul situation right now for Towson. Sends Colin Murray Boyles to the line where he's 2 for 2 so far tonight. The preseason third-team All-SEC selection. It's the first All-Freshman team member a year ago when he averaged 10.4 points and 5.7 boards. Had that career-high 31 points against Vandy. Just the third South Carolina freshman ever with a 30-point game. And he's got 10 so far tonight. As Miles Studi checks back in, replaces Murray Boyles.
Yeah, Murray Boyles has been the equalizer for Tejada. And when he's gone out, you've seen Tejada start to heat up, start to get himself in the offensive rhythm, because there's not many with the size and length to be able to guard him once he gets to his spots.
Tejada gets the bounce, friendly bounce inside CLA.
Colin Murray Boyles goes out. That force, that resistance isn't there for Tejada anymore.
So in essence, his confidence goes up.
Absolutely.
Well, he's got 8. Gamecocks lead by 11. Ugasuk from the corner. It's short. Pringle fighting for the rebound. He's got it.
I love it.
Jacoby Wright. He's got 8.
Yeah, Jacoby Wright being strong with the ball, warding off those diving hands going towards him, getting his balance, and then scoring in the paint.
Sam kicks it to Hicks. Shot no good. The rebound is tapped out. 8 offensive rebounds so far for the Tigers. Trying to cut into a 13-point deficit. Tejada went down. Tark was open. Shot's not falling for Towson. Nice move from Thomas. True contact, and he'll head to the line. Foul is called on Suleiman, who picks up his first. And Jacoby Wright had 20 points in the win over South Carolina State. He has 8 tonight. The Gamecocks lead 36-23. Tyler Tejada has 8 points so far, John, for the Tigers.
He has not been afraid to get paint on those Under Armours. When he gets 2 feet in the paint, he has been deadly. And you see here, he has been in attack mode every single time he's been able to get downhill. What South Carolina is going to have to adjust to is keeping those feet out of the paint.
Coach Scary told us he's talented, a 6'9" guy that can really play on the perimeter and score the ball. Great worker, comes from a tremendous family. And he said he's the most gifted on the roster offensively. And an even bigger compliment, he said in his 32 years of doing this, he's as good of a worker as I've ever been around. And he's a hungry scorer offensively.
Absolutely, and you don't see that from guys that are 6'9" and gifted like they are, like he is, because most of the time you don't think you have to do as much work, but he works as a guy that has come from humble beginnings. And so every time he steps in the gym, he's working on perfecting his craft, getting a little bit better, 1% each time.
He could be a high volume guy. Took 20 shots at St. Mary's. He's taken 7 so far tonight, 4 for 7. Is Tejada. You have to think he's going to have a really big night for Towson to pull this one off.
He's going to have to. And the thing is that you have to make sure that you mark him at all times if you're South Carolina. And the reason being is because against St. Mary's, he only had like 2 points in the first half. The second half, he erupted and just went into a scoring, he went crazy from the perimeter as far as just knocking down threes, getting 2 feet in the paint, finishing the mid-range jumper, fadeaways, you name it.
He's on the bench now. Another offensive foul for Towson. This one's called on Sark. Picks up his second.
Tark is a physical guard that loves to get downhill, along with May and Tejada. It's very tough to stop once he gets ahead of steam.
14 fouls in this first half for Towson. 5 players with 2. Approaching 2 minutes remaining in the half. The Gamecocks lead 36-23. Trying to get it inside to Pringle. Unable to do so. He's well defended by Jones. Jamari Thomas for 3. Off the mark, and the rebound for Dylan Williamson. Suleiman against Davis. Backs him down. Suleiman can't hit. Studi at 3. That's good.
Big shot from Miles Studi. Being calm, cool, and collected, coming off of the stagger action, getting his feet set, staying balanced, and knocking down a rhythm jumper.
He's got 5 points, largest lead of the night for the Gamecocks, 16. A whistle that's going to go against South Carolina. Morris Ugasuk picks up his second. Another look at the 3-pointer from Studi.
Yeah, when Studi gets those feet set and he's balanced, he is a high percentage shooter.
39% 3-point shooter a season ago. His first of the night. Nay. Tough shot, won't go, in and out. The rebound for Ugasuk. They get inside to Pringle. Check by Jones. Another bucket for Pringle. He's got 10.
I think this is what Coach Parrish saw in Pringle, that he could bring out in a different role when transferring here to South Carolina. A guy that can impact the game from the paint.
Coach Parrish said, I'd like him to be a double figures guy. He is tonight. Under 10 for Williamson. And a turnover. And they get it up ahead to Zach Davis.
Fantastic defensive play from South Carolina. And it came down with Nick Pringle being able to play perimeter defense on Williamson long enough for Zach Davis to be available to stunt and get himself a touch or a deflection.
A high arcing shot goes for Williamson. And that's how the half will end. An impressive first half for South Carolina, who shoots 62.5%. John, they lead 43-26.
Fantastic half for South Carolina. The thing about Towson is you cannot take your foot off the gas against this team. They were down a lot of the time against St. Mary's and made a great comeback against them where they were able to bring it within 4. So you have to be mindful of this team going into the half and coming out in that second half.
It's a good offensive half for South Carolina. They lead Towson 43-26. It's halftime from Colonial Life Arena. The productivity of the Gamecocks star, Colin Murray-Boyles, 16 and 6 so far. Johnny 6 for 8 from the field.
Well, you can see why he's so highly revered by NBA scouts all over, seeing what his abilities can bring to an NBA table. The guy can finish in the open floor. He can take you on the one-on-one in the paint, take advantage of mismatches. He can face up and put the ball on the deck as well. He's going to be such a tough player to guard, but then we got to talk about what he can do also on the defensive end. He can guard multiple positions. He's done a fantastic job when he's been matched up with Tejada. He can guard the 2, he can guard the 3, he can guard the ball screen actions. And so he brings so much to the table on both ends of the floor for the Gamecocks and in the future for some pro-level team.
I talked about and maybe adding the outside shot this season. We thought maybe we'd see 1 or 2 per game. We haven't yet, but you don't really need to, John, when you're dominating inside and he's using a size advantage against May.
Yeah, he's just taking what the game has given him. And so in the post-up actions, there hasn't been many double coverage actions thrown at him yet. And so as the games start to progress, as those double coverages start to come, whenever he is catching the ball at the perimeter, if they're sagging off of him, those are going to be his opportunities to take the three.
Kyle Lowry for Towson. And this is Tejada. Williamson. Check closely by Wright. 10 seconds for Tejada. Feeds Jones inside. He draws contact. I believe that's going to be called on Colin Murray-Boyles.
Yeah, he met him vertically, but his body was still moving forward. So they're going to call that foul.
So Messiah Jones to the line. He spent 5 years at Wofford, began his career in 2018, redshirted, had some injuries, 93 games with the Terriers. He's been in college basketball for a long time. Coach Scarry told us he's a great kid, has been through a lot. A couple of years ago, he tore his Achilles. He plays with diabetes, playing right now with a tear in his shoulder. He's such a tough kid, and it's a good story because he's in grad school. He's going to be getting his master's this year. He's an undersized center at Wofford. Played a little bit on the perimeter last year for Towson. They moved him back inside. Tough Chicago kid, a good offensive rebounder. Coach Gary John said that they tried to get him out of high school, but he decided to go to Wofford. But they're really fortunate that they could get him on the bounce back because Wofford doesn't have a grad school.
Yeah, you love that you have a guy like Messiah Jones who has an infinite motor. He never stops moving. He never stops working. And you got to have that kind of player, that kind of leadership on your team.
Colin Murray-Boyles is fouled once again. This one's going to go on Kyle Lowry. Picks up his third, and Murray-Boyles will head to the line. This is his first tonight. He's now 4 for 5. Second is pure.
And right now we have not seen an answer for Colin Murray-Boyles in that paint area. Towson's going to have to make a couple of defensive adjustments if they're going to try to quell him.
He has all 7 points for South Carolina in the second half. Williamson can't hit. The rebound for Zach Davis. Studi feeds Murray-Boyles inside, kicks it out to an open right.
I think Jacoby Wright earned that one after a fantastic defensive possession on Dylan Williams, where he made him have to take a tough shot. He missed it, ran the floor, and then was able to knock down a big three.
15:26 left to go. The lead is 20 for South Carolina. They lead Towson 53-33. Some of the Gamecocks and Tigers have been teammates in the past. Towson's Messiah Jones was teammates with South Carolina's Nick Pringle and former Gamecock B.J. Mack on the 2020-21 Wofford Terriers team. Also on that squad is current Wisconsin sharpshooter Max Klesmit. None of these guys were even the team's best player, John. That was Storm Murphy, who finished his career at Virginia Tech, just a loaded Wofford team.
Yeah, that Wofford program has dished out some really good players in the past. It was cool to see. I like to call that version of BJ babyface BJ. So, you know, it was really cool to see how it all came to fruition for those guys who have found great homes where they were able to impact for their teams.
And you can tell that was the COVID year because in that picture they had the cardboard cutouts sitting in the stands.
Cardboard cutouts. It was a different time, wasn't it?
2020-21 Wofford Terriers. And there's Pringle on the left having a good night for South Carolina. He's got 10 points and 5 boards. And Messiah Jones on the right for Towson. 2 points on a pair of free throws. Rebound as well.
And yeah, there's a lot of stats that aren't captured from some of the things that Messiah Jones brings to the table. How hard he hedges. He's a great connector when it comes to passes. The things that you can't really track on a normal stat sheet, but he makes winning plays.
He played 93 games with the Terriers. Having him out there, John's got to be like having an assistant coach on the floor.
Yeah, that's a man.
Tejada on the drive. And the foul's going to be called on Tejada. Picks up his second.
Yeah, and that's in the line of being aggressive. Tejada's gotten a second offensive foul, and a lot of that is just him trying to get downhill, him trying to get ahead of steam and get those feet in those paint. And I think South Carolina is understanding that and being available early so they can run into him and take the charge.
Jacoby Wright, who's got 11, his third straight game, double digits to start the 2024-25 season. And a turnover.
That was a good idea from Bozeman Verdonk, but probably should have put it high to give Colin Murray-Boyles a better target.
Suleiman feeds it inside to Jones. 4 points now for Messiah Jones.
You see what I'm saying? Messiah Jones shouldn't be able to do some of the things that he does in the trees with those bigs, but he's so crafty, he's so quick. He's never ending with his will, determination, and gives himself opportunities to put the ball in the basket in that paint area against bigger defenders.
He's good around the basket. Coach Gary calls him an ox. Physical, heady. Speaking of physical, here's Bozeman's Verdonk trying to work his way inside. He's double teamed and blocked from behind. Another look at the last bucket from Messiah Jones.
Yeah, Messiah Jones just continuing to move while the basketball is bouncing, getting himself in an available position to score the ball.
Jones will now get a rest as Mbea checks back in. Jamari Thomas back in for the Gamecocks. He replaces Miles Studi. 1.3 on the shot clock. See what South Carolina has drawn up. Well, Tiger went down. That was Mbea. And the foul is going to be called on Nick Pringle. Picks up his first. And having him on the floor, John's important in Mbea. He's at 6'9", 220. He has the physicality to play against Pringle, who's 6'10", 220.
And not only the physicality, the athleticism to play above the rim and to be able to contest Pringle above the rim.
Suleiman doesn't go, but he'll head to the line. Foul on Colin Murray-Boyles, who picks up his second.
Yeah, that was all Suleiman needed, was a little edge up, to get past Colin Murray-Boyles, which he was able to do. And then Colin Murray-Boyles, instead of playing vertical, let that arm swing down just a tad, where he was able to get that foul called on him.
Suleiman hits the first. He's a London native. Played for Great Britain, at the 2019 FIBA European Championships. He didn't score in 15 minutes off the bench at St. Mary's, but then started and dropped 20 against Penn State Wilkes-Barre. He was 6 of 7 from 3. His career high in made threes.
Yeah, he definitely has abilities that can help a team, whether that's scoring the three, whether that's getting downhill and finishing at the basket, or defending your best player. He can do a little bit of everything. Another Swiss Army knife.
And this is his second year at Towson. His first 3 years were at IUP, which is a good D2 program in Pennsylvania. Pringle against Mbea. Offensive rebound from Murray-Boyles.
Yeah, you can just see South Carolina dominating in that paint area. Nick Pringle misses a shot, but Colin Murray-Boyles is available, gets that second chance point.
19 points for Murray Boyles to go along with 7 rebounds. It's tipped back out to Tark. Collision. May goes down. So did Pringle.
You see just South Carolina being active on those boards. Colin Murray Boyles just having those hands ready. And it's weird that the ball always falls in his hands. That's a skill.
A little too small from Colin Murray Boyles there, John.
Well, he's a big boy. I mean, imagine if Charles Barkley was 6'8", 6'9". That's what you see there in Colin Murray Boyles.
Come on! Don't make it the Pat show!
That's why NBA scouts are salivating over Murray Boyles. Thomas picks up his 3rd foul. And he'll exit as Cam Scott checks back in. Gamecocks lead 55-37, 13 minutes to go. May, he's fouled.
And that's one of those plays where Christian May comes off of a myriad of different screens, able to curl into the corner action. If he's got the jumper, he can take it. But what it also does is it clears out the baseline for him to get a drive going. And if defense is late in recovery, he's going to draw it.
Zach Davis picks up the foul, now 7 on South Carolina. They only had 5 in the first half. May hits the first. One of 3 preseason honors for the Tigers. Tejada, preseason first-team All-CAA. May, preseason second-team All-CAA. Williamson, his honorable mention. And, of course, Towson's preseason #1 in the conference.
Yeah, and it makes a lot of sense based on the way that Towson plays. They're gritty, they're tough, they're physical. And then you have players with offensive abilities like the 3-headed monster we just saw.
It's a tough league with teams like Charleston, Hofstra.
UNC Wilmington's one of their rivals. They play very similar to them as far as matching the physicality and intensity.
Bradier Hicks picks up his first foul. Senior guard from Pennsylvania. Played just 4 minutes at St. Mary's, but he's seen more time than that tonight. Under 10, contact. Looks like Mbea will pick up a cheap one. His 3rd.
Yeah, as you're recognizing that the officiating is tightening up a little bit in the second half, it's because they want the players, the teams, to make the adjustments to the officiating. You know that you can't get away with that. You can't do it 2 times in a row.
30th foul called in this game, and Mbea has to take a seat with 3. Carolina leads by 16. 10 seconds for Zach Davis. Now Pringle. Pringle trying to feed Murray Boyles just a little too hard.
Yeah, a little tough on that pass there. I mean, and we talked about Colin Murray Boyles having soft hands. At that point, if he's not making that catch, it's got to be a hard pass.
Stood on the pass from in close. Gamecocks look to push. Ugasuk goes down.
There's a lot of bodies on the floor here right now.
Sark. And 1. And into Sark finishes, and he'll head to the line. Second foul called on Zach Davis.
That's what we're talking about with Nanda Tark being one of those guys that is looking to run. It's looking to get that head of steam going so that he can get high percentage shots at the basket, even with contact.
Murray Boyles will get a rest. Nanda Sark spent his first 3 seasons at Coppin State. Was the MEAC Rookie of the Year back in 2020-21. South Carolina will play the Coppin State women's team on Thursday night. Davis loses it. And it brings us to immediate timeout. Towson starting to fight back here in the second half. 11:50 left to go. The Gamecocks lead 55-41.
Historically, South Carolina's best teams have all had one thing in common. They've had homegrown talent. You go back to the Gamecocks' Final Four run in 2017, and their top 2 scorers were in-state products. Not to mention NBA Hall of Famer and Columbia native Alex English played for the Gamecocks in the 1970s. And fast forward to this year, well, South Carolina has 8 players from the state of South Carolina on their roster. It's their most in a season since 2001. And a driving force behind landing that home state talent has been Kerry Rich, the special assistant to the head coach for the Gamecocks. He's one who came on staff in 2022. He was Lamont Paris's first hire. He's a Gamecock alum who played his last game in uniform in 1995, but he spent the last 30 years establishing major high school tournaments across the state. And since he's been on staff with the Gamecocks, they've landed the #1 overall player in the state in 3 straight recruiting cycles. And that includes Colin Murray-Boyles, who tonight is leading the Gamecocks with 19 points. Guys, back to you.
And you take a look at some of that homegrown talent. Not just Murray-Boyles leading the way, but their top 3 scorers tonight are all Palmetto State natives. Murray-Boyles, as Cade mentioned, has 19 points. Jacoby Wright, who's from Fort Mill, he's got 11. And then Nick Pringle, who's from Seabrook, he's got 10. Those are the 3 Gamecocks, John, in double figures.
Yeah, big shout out to Coach Rich, who is a legend in the Palmetto State and has earned a ton of respect in this area. If it wasn't for him, you wouldn't see a lot of the events that were happening back in the day when he was running them, and wouldn't be able to see this homegrown talent that we're seeing right now.
Well, he was a team captain for a couple of seasons with South Carolina when he played in the mid-90s. Early to mid-90s, I should say. Gamecocks lead 55-41. Ten seconds, and Wright kicks it to Studi. He's short. Offensive rebound for Cam Scott. Studi drives baseline and feeds Pringle.
Yeah, all that was created from the second chance there. Cam Scott got it, hit it to Miles Studi in the corner. He drives baseline strong, draws a secondary defender. Nick Pringle finishes with the exclamation point.
Pringle now with 12. Tejada fights for the rebound. Scramble on the floor, a whistle. Jump ball called, another look. A pretty feed from Studi to Pringle.
All that happened with Miles Studi being able to play off of 2 feet there. Because he was able to play off of 2 feet, not jump up in the air and make the pass, he was able to find Nick Pringle for that finish. But also, if Nick Pringle's not there, he can make the drift pass, he can make a toss back. And all that's due to good fundamentals there from Miles Studi.
A second assist of the night for Studi. Gamecocks lead by 16. Ugasuk trying to get inside to Pringle.
Yeah, too low.
It was denied by Mbeya. Christian May. And a whistle and a foul. It's going to send Nendit Sark to the line. Foul's called on Cam Scott, who picks up his second.
Yeah, I got to see Cam Scott really working on his defensive movement, his closeouts, all that stuff. I mean, it's going to be a work in progress on the defensive end. Offensively, he is as bright as any freshman in the SEC. Defensively, Coach Lamont Paris has a standard that he wants, being able to move those feet, being able to meet their offensive player with contact, meet them with your chest. If they shift or change angles, you can open up that outside foot and beat them to the spot. And so you can definitely see that he is working on it. Each game is a learning experience for Cam Scott.
He's a confident guy for a freshman.
Absolutely. He wants the moment. He wants the ball in his hands. And as he continues to gain more play on the floor and earn the minutes, he's going to be able to showcase that.
Another rebound for Colin Murray-Boyles. That's his 8th. 2 away from a double-double. A whistle that'll go against Towson. If this is on Mbea, it's his 4th. So with 10:26 left, their starting center picks up his 4th, and he'll exit.
It's understandable. I mean, you got to think Nick Pringle, Colin Murray-Boyles, they're handfuls to deal with in that paint area.
The smaller Messiah Jones is now guarding Pringle. Pringle trying to take advantage. Instead, kicks it out to Scott. Thomas with the rebound. Thomas on the drive, ran into traffic. And he'll head to the line.
Yeah, you talk about Jamari Thomas. That is when he is at his best, when he can get downhill. He's so crafty and shifty. He can make things appear that look like it's going to be a dead end turn into something.
He gets to the line often. He's just 2 for 6 tonight from the line. 3 for 7. He was 8 for 9 coming into tonight. He's someone who broke the program record for most free throws in a single season last year at Norfolk State. It's the second.
And the thing is, when he decides to get downhill, there's no stopping him. Even though he's a shorter guard, he's got great shoulders, great mass where he can use that weight, that size, that force to get downhill and use his body and contort it in the right way to finish over bigger defenders.
Williamson gets help from Tark. Tark kicks it to the corner. And May, shot's no good. He'll stay with Towson. Christian May, 8 points tonight, 3 for 8 from the field, but 0 for 4 from 3. He was a 34% three-point shooter a season ago. This time he drives baseline. His pass was rejected by Pringle, and it's Davis the other way. Murray-Boyles inside.
And we talk about that touch all the time. With that kind of weight, that kind of head of steam, and you saw there, Towson actually pulled the chair from under him so he didn't get to meet any contact. And so it's like falling off of a roof or something, and he still was able to finish and will it into the basket.
He's got 21.
Yeah, just there, he's cutting. You see Williamson kind of pulled the chair from under him, and he still shows his ability, his touch, knack around the basket to finish.
Towson trails by 20. Williamson, he falls down. Travel calls on the Towson point guard, Dylan Williamson.
Yeah, that was fantastic defense from Jamari Thomas, just staying connected to Williamson, making sure that there was resistance there on that downhill drive. And the more and more you feel that, getting closer to the basket with a help side there, your window of opportunity shortens.
Jordan Butler is checked in for South Carolina, wearing number 0, 7-footer. You have to watch for his shot behind the arc. 5 seconds, Butler off the mark. The foul's going to be called against Towson. And Mekhi Lowry, he picks up his 4th.
What did he say?
Is it a double technical, or is it?
What?
Because obviously Lowry and Zach Davis were chopping it up a little bit after Zach Davis knocked the ball out of Lowry's hands. And everybody knows in basketball world that's code. I mean, it's disrespect for one-on-one.
And Pat Scarry not pleased.
Yeah! Sit down! Sit down!
He'll get a T. So if I'm not mistaken, John, it's offsetting techs on Lowry and Davis. And then Coach Scary as well.
Yeah, it looks like Coach Scary got one fighting for his guys.
So Jacoby Wright will shoot the technical foul. Points now for Jacoby Wright.
As you see here, Zach Davis knocks the ball away. I told you, that's code for we got to say some words to each other. And then referee comes in at the last minute, understand that they're jawing at each other. So you got to give them a double tech. And then Coach Scary comes in, jumps in and says the why behind the whole ordeal. He gets a tech.
Free throw from Davis is no good. Tark will bring it up for Towson. Foul's going to be called on Jacoby Wright. Picks up his first. I guess a little too physical and guarding into Tark.
Well, Tark, when he crossed half court, already had a full head of steam going. And so that's hard to stop if you're waiting for him at the three-point line. And at that point, you can't provide enough resistance to be able to stop him legally once he gets going that way.
2 shots for Tark. He hits the first. He's got a brother on the team as well. Mandela. It's the second. .20 game once again. Murray Boyles has 21. Davis. This is the 3, a foul. Looks like it's going to be called on Jordan Butler. He picks up his first. Missouri transfers limited minutes so far.
Yeah, one thing about Jordan Butler is he is an elite shooter. He really can spread the floor. I think it's just going to take some time for him to get acclimated to Coach Lamont Perry's system. One of the other things that he's going to have to be able to do is defend multiple positions. He's going to have to be more physical. Once he can start to get himself into a rhythm in that nature, he's going to be in good shape for the South Carolina Gamecocks.
Free throw attempt starting to even up here. There's been a lot of fouls called in South Carolina this half. Not sure what the whistle is here, John.
Show him up, Pat!
Did you catch it?
I did not catch it. I was watching the free throw at the time.
They're going to take a look at something. Well, they're going to sort this out, and we're going to take a break. 8:20 left to go. South Carolina leads Towson, 63-44. All right, welcome back. So here's the explanation we got. Moments ago, in previous possession, Mekhi Lowry picked up his 4th foul, and then there was a double technical on Lowry and Davis, and so that should have been Lowry's 5th. He should have exited the game, John. He did stay in for a little bit, and they cleared up his foul count, and now Lowry will have to sit the rest of the way.
Yeah, it just took a little bit of couple of seconds to get the math going, but yeah, like after he had that personal foul and then got the technical, that's 4 or 5, you're out the game. The officials didn't get him out right away, but cleaned it up after right before the media.
So Mekhi Lowry has fouled out. 3 points and 2 rebounds tonight for Lowry. Gamecocks lead 63-44 with 8:20 left to go. And they have possession. Colin Murray Boyles leading the way tonight for South Carolina with 21 points and 9 rebounds. His next rebound, give him another double-double. He's averaging 1 so far this season. And a turnover here. Suleiman from the corner. And Bea saves it, but saves it to Thomas. Butler will swing it back to Thomas. Jamari Thomas on the drive. He draws the foul. And the foul is called on Mbea, and he has fouled out. So 2 Tigers have fouled out. Kyle Lowry and Caleb Mbea. Mbea pleading his case. He's going to foul out with 3 points, 1 rebound.
Yeah, and we talk about all those fouls that Towson has racked up as the game has progressed. Part of that is because of South Carolina's aggression in getting to the basket in today's game.
23 fouls called on Towson, 17 called on South Carolina so far. So a combined 40. We've still got just under 8 minutes remaining.
Yeah, absolutely. And South Carolina's not letting up on the gas there. They're going to continue to seize as many opportunities as they can, trying to get feet in those paints.
Williamson against Butler. He draws contact. Second foul on Butler. Here's the 5th on Mbea. Tough call, John.
That is a tough call. The more and more I look at it, it doesn't look like a foul to me. And so I think it could have been a predictive call. But I don't consider that one a foul.
It's been called tight tonight, really on both sides. Now Pringle checks back in and try to take advantage of that size matchup with Mbea out for the rest of the way. It'll be Pringle against the smaller Messiah Jones. Gamecocks lead by 19. Trying to get it to Pringle. He's denied by Jones. Murray Boyles. And the foul's going to be called on Towson.
That's the second time in the offense that we've seen Colin Murray Boyles with the handoff action decide to keep it, recognizing that that defender that's guarding the guy that he's handing off to is jumping the play, so he has the angle and the ability to get downhill. Good things happen once you can get there.
And both teams are shooting 2 the rest of the way. Murray Boyles, it's the first. He's got 22.
Doesn't feel like that, though. It's been a smooth, relaxing 22 that Colin Murray Boyles has had there, where he's just taking what the game has given him and utilizing every aspect of his game out there, but it just seems so effortless.
Well, he's 8 of 10 from the field, now 7 for 8 from the line. An ultra-efficient night for Colin Murray Boyles. From the corner. Shot no good for Suleiman. May with the follow-up. Christian May has 10. He's the second Tiger in double digits. Tejada has 11. Haven't seen Tejada in a while, John.
I have not either. I don't know what that's about, but when he was in and when he was performing, he looked good.
Jacoby Wright, he's short. Rebound for Nendit Tark. Tark drives into traffic. And he'll head to the line. Zach Davis picks up his 4th. Tark now 5 for 10 tonight from the line.
And the fact that he's been able to get to the free throw line 10 times is impressive. I mean, he is always putting defenses in conflict offensively.
5 for 11. Wright comes down with it. In no hurry for the Gamecocks. They lead by 18. 6.5 to go. Davis. Pringle's asking for it inside. Under 10 for Jacoby Wright. Trying to feed Pringle. It's knocked out of bounds off of Towson. The Gamecocks will have 6 on the shot clock. Right. Oh, he's rejected.
Good idea with 2.4 seconds to go on the clock. I mean, you got to attack the basket at this point right there. He's able to get ahead of steam, but Cy Jones had other, almost an alley-oop there.
Suleiman saves it. Williamson is knocked away from him by Murray Boyles. Now South Carolina can work with a fresh shot clock. Ugasuk. Turnover here. Tark to May. Oh, he's denied by Pringle.
Beautiful.
Now up ahead to Murray Boyles with the stuff. Timeout, South Carolina, 5:41 remaining. Gamecocks turning defense into offense.
That started with Nick Pringle getting up off of the earth, taking Christian May's floater completely out of the air. You see there an open floor situation from that. Jacoby Wright to Colin Murray Boyles with the exclamation point.
A 25-point night for Colin Murray Boyles, who's now 9 for 11 from the field, along with 9 rebounds. Murray Boyles' career high is 31 last season against Vanderbilt. We'll see if he can surpass that tonight. Preseason third-team All-SEC member. Colin Murray Boyles on the all-freshman team last season. They had the greatest single-season turnaround in school history a year ago, picked to finish last in the SEC. They went 13-5 in SEC play, tied for second overall, won 26 games. Finished the season ranked in both major polls. They ranked as high as 11 at one point. Went to the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2017. Last year's team, John, had 9 newcomers. This season it's 6, and a core of 8 return. How have you seen that chemistry developing between the newcomers this season?
Yeah, it's coming along. I mean, it always takes times when your nucleus kind of goes there and losing some really good pieces. But you have to trust in Coach Lamont Paris' system. Once those guys get it, once they understand it, I mean, you can have just as good of a season as you had last year with the amount of talent that you have on this roster.
Suleiman. He turns it over. Pass was picked off by Morris Ugasuk. Gamecocks are going to build on a 20-point lead. Ten seconds. Jacoby Wright. Oh, he drills it.
Fantastic ball movement from South Carolina. Just being patient, playing with great pace, great poise, finding the right shot and taking it.
16 points for Wright. His third made 3. Tejada won't go off the glass. The rebound for Pringle. His 7th.
Mouse in the house.
Corey Boyles will draw the foul on the aforementioned Mouse, Bradier Hicks.
Yeah, that was a situation. Obviously, it started with Colin Murray Boyles sprinting the floor, getting down there where Hicks had no choice but to have to guard him, and then isolating him in that paint area before help side could come. Colin Murray Boyles does a great spin to get himself an angle to draw the foul.
Going back to that made 3, John, by Jacoby Wright. He came in tonight 4 for 8 from behind the arc. He is 3 for 5 tonight, so quick math tells me that's 7 for 12. No, 7 for 13. My math is terrible. On the season. That's a great percentage for Jacoby Wright, and they're going to count on his scoring more this season to replace guys like Michi Johnson and Talon Cooper.
Yeah, absolutely. And what he's brought to the table is just being steady in his role, his position, and just taking what the defense has given him offensively, but also making sure that he defends the ball and makes life terrible for primary ball handlers, being available in the gaps.
Surman trying to find help. Unable to get it. Instead, it's right up to Studi, who feeds Murray Boyles. He's knocked away on the dunk attempt. Ugas up for 3. Can't hit. And the rebound for May. A collision. Tark collided with Ugasuk. Looks like he's going to pick up the foul. And we're going to take a break with 3:38 to go. Jacoby Wright has 16 points. His 3rd made 3 of the night. And South Carolina leads Towson 74-49. Here's the upcoming schedule for the Gamecocks. How about a trip, John, to Assembly Hall to take on Indiana?
Yeah, that's going to be a test for South Carolina. And they're going to have to play well in order to win out there. But I think that they have the pieces, the tools, the talent to be able to compete there. It's just continuing to grow, continuing to click at the right times.
And here's the upcoming schedule for Towson. Next up is James Madison. That'll be their 3rd 2023-24 tournament team in their first 4 games, because St. Mary's was a 5 seed, South Carolina, of course, was a 6 seed, and James Madison, I believe they were a 12 a season ago.
Well, that's the schedule that you want if you're Towson, making sure that you're battle tested to go into your conference play and be properly prepared to play against different styles, because that's what the CAA offers. It's going against parity-driven league that does different things, but also are stars within what they do.
They've had a lot of success the last few seasons. And Coach Gary certainly mentioned they've got the best winning percentage in the DMV over the past 3 years. They're playing games all over the place, taking what they can get. It's hard for a team like Towson to get those guaranteed games. No one wants to play the #1 team preseason in the CAA.
Well, definitely. And eventually, you don't want to aspire to have those guaranteed games. You want to be eventually like that Gonzaga out there, those St. Mary's is out there, those teams that kind of started like they did, but gradually grew, gradually, enveloped a DNA that was infectious, that everybody wanted to go to that school. And they're starting to beat teams more and more. And the only time you can face those guarantees are in, neutral sites or in the NCAA tournament.
Coach Gary thinks it has a chance to be the best team they've had. They've had over 18 wins in 9 of the last 11 years. They just haven't finished the job. They fully expect that they're going to be in the mix this season, as does everyone else with that preseason ranking. But he said we really appreciate Coach Paris giving us the chance to compete. It's gotten hard for them to get good opponents. And you have to go out and play people and then win. And if you can't win, at least it gets you ready for your league.
Yeah, and respectfully, this is a great test for South Carolina, too, going against such a tough, gritty team as Towson. And so it's just something that both teams benefit from.
There's the preseason poll. Everyone expects it to be Towson and Charleston in the end. UNCW will give them some problems. Hofstra as well. A lot of talent at the top of the CAA, which is a good mid-major basketball league. And this is a good night for South Carolina, John. Everyone kind of panicked a little bit on that season opening loss to UNF, but they came out really strong against South Carolina State. And this is an impressive win. Again, preseason #1 in a good mid-major league, and they're dominating tonight, up by 24.
Yeah, can we be real, though? North Florida is really good. I mean, taking down Georgia Tech, I mean, they're the team nobody really wants to schedule these days.
Right from the corner. Doesn't get the bounce. Harden Conyers is in the game for the South Carolina, number 21 in white, his first appearance of the night. That's the Ospreys in North Florida. They've got an SEC win and an ACC win on the road. And I suppose if you're a Gamecocks fan and a Yellow Jackets fan, you're rooting for UNF the rest of the way. You want them to win their league and make the NCAA tournament, and that loss certainly doesn't look as bad.
Yeah, absolutely. And the higher they go, you know, the better that loss looks.
The foul was called on Ugasuk, who picks up his third, and he'll exit. Get some coaching from Lamont Paris. Tark hits the second and spoils Chick-fil-A.
Everybody wanted that sandwich.
Some pressure here. It's Cam Scott. Knocked away by Abdou Sam. Hicks, no good. Another opportunity here. Hicks once again. Off the mark. Pringle picks up the rebound. 9 rebounds now for Pringle. Towson 4 for 23 from behind the arc tonight, John.
Yeah, it's something that Towson has struggled with. And when you run an offense where you have the ghost screens, somebody's going to be open on the perimeter as long as you can show the ability to take them. But the more and more you don't take them or don't make them, the defense will adjust and shift and play with a little bit more space and guard the drive over the pop.
Pringle now has 14 points. Tark for 3. 11 points for Nenda Tark. Mentioned Pringle with 14. His career best is 19 in the first round of the 2023 NCAA tournament. Right. Listen on a foul called. It's going to be called on Abdou Sam. He picks up his second. And Sam has been a reliable, everyday guy for Towson. It's a combination of Mbea and Sam in the middle. They're not as tall, but they have long wingspans. For Mbea, it's 7'2", and Sam, it's 6'11 and a half. In height, both are about 6'8", 6'9".
Yeah, and another thing is that those guys are strong, really strong, and they set hard screens. And when they set those screens, what that does is that opens up the floor for their downhill guards that use those ball screens, and they're able to get paint touches. And it puts you in a tough decision on whether or not are you going to drive the driver, are you going to guard the driver, or are you going to guard the roller.
Ryan Scarry has checked in for Towson, number 22. Mandela Tark as well, number 21. Pringle gets a nice hand as he takes a seat with 15 points, season high. Scarry, the coach's son, tore his shoulder last year again over the summer. He's been fighting through it. Conyers the other way for the Gamecocks. Here's Hero. Austin Hero has checked in for South Carolina as well. Butler, Studi. 5 seconds for Scott. He pulls up. Back iron. Hicks skies for the rebound for Towson. Feeds Scary. Thought about it instead. They'll swing it around. It'll be Gamecocks basketball. So Coach Scary, his son is on the floor, Ryan Scary, and both Tart brothers on the floor as well.
Yeah, got a family connection here, don't we?
In the first minutes of the season, on the other end for Hero, there's a three.
Yeah, Arden Conyers really can shoot the ball, one of the top shooters on this team. Talked about it before, earning those minutes means you got to start defending the ball, and I think once he starts to get into that, it's going to be in good shape.
Conyers excited everyone in that exhibition win when he had 16 points with 6 of 7 from the floor and 4 of 5 from deep.
Well, the thing is, he has an elite offensive bag. I mean, the boy can really score the ball.
And that'll do it. South Carolina defeats Towson 80-54. Gamecocks improved to 2-1 on the season. Towson drops to 1-2. Get their 24th win at home under Lamont Paris.
Well, yeah, we got to keep it real, too. I mean, this is a really good Towson team, but I think that South Carolina came out firing on all cylinders, showing their ability to really impose their will in the paint area. Colin Murray-Boyles, Nick Pringle dominating in that paint area, and then it opens up so many opportunities on the perimeter for the rest of the team. I mean, you got Jamari Thomas driving hard. You got Jacoby Wright knocking down threes. Miles Studi showing his ability to knock down threes. Morris Ugasuk knock down threes, and so it opens up the rest of the guard play when your post play is playing at an efficient clip.
It was an impressive win for South Carolina. Next up for the Gamecocks, November 16th at Indiana. Next up for the Tigers, November 16th against James Madison. For John Williams, Cade Crenshaw, and the rest of our crew, I'm Dave Weinstein saying so long from Columbia. South Carolina defeats Towson 80-53.